Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on Best Buy and Proportion, which also doubles as the second multi-mark question, so it's a 2-for-1 job from week 8, and I'm Mr. Barton. Now this is a classic question that brings in loads of different math skills. It's a non-calculator job, so your written and mental arithmetic have got to be up to scratch, and let's see if we can pick up all the marks. So we've got Mr. Smith. He needs to buy some boxes for necklaces that he makes. There are two possible suppliers you can use, Boxes Galore or Box Clever, and here's all the information about them. And when we get to part A here, Mr. Smith placed orders for boxes in June, July and August with Boxes Galore. Complete the chart below. Okay, so in June he bought 8 boxes from Boxes Galore, and it says here if you order 1 to 100 you pay 40p per box. Need more than 100? Well, we don't need to worry about that just yet. Plus the standard delivery charge of £3 per order. Alright, so let's have a look at this. We're in June. Buys 8 boxes and they're 40p a box. So let's do our little working out down here. 8 lots of 40. Well, 8 lots of 4, I think is, if my maths is right, 32. So 8 lots of 40 will be 320 pence, which is otherwise known as £3.20, and then of course he's going to also have to pay a little order of a delivery charge of £3 per order, so I think that's coming in at £6.20 for 8 boxes. Not too bad a price. Now in July, 95 boxes, Flippin Eck, so we've got to do 95 lots of 40. Now again, it's completely up to you, also put my little 0 on there, how you do this. One little technique is I'm going to times 95 by 4 first. So I'm going to do 95 times by 4. And an easy way to times something by 4 is to double it. So if you double 95, I think you get 190. And then double it again. So if you double 190, if my maths is right, I think you get 380. So 95 times by 4, I think would be 380. So when you times it by 40, I think you're going to get 3,800. And again, that's pence, but we need to change that into pounds. So I think if there's 100 pence in a pound, that's going to be 38 quid. For 95 boxes, but then he's going to be hit by this £3 per order extra bit, so that's going to be £41 I reckon, and 0 pence for 95 boxes. But what about August? August he wants 105 boxes. Now what's the rule up here? If you want more than 100 boxes, you get all boxes for 15p each. That's not too bad. So he wants 105. Well, I think probably the easiest way to do this is to work out what 100 boxes would be. So 100 lots of 15. Well, that's quite nice and easy. I think that's going to be 15 and then 2 zeros at the end. So that's 15 quid. Is coming in for his 100 boxes, but he wants 105, so he's going to want another 5 boxes at 15 pence. So 5 lots of 10 are 50, 5 lots of 5 are 25, so I think that's going to be just 75 pence for those ones. So it's going to be £15 and 75 pence, and then we've got to remember standard delivery charge of £3 per order, so I think that's going to be £18 and 75p. Now if that's setting off alarm bells in your head when you look at these two, you're not the only one, because look at this in part B. Mr. Smith notices he's not been wise. No, he hasn't. He's got less boxes but paid more money. In September he intends to buy 96 boxes from Boxes Galore. What advice would you give Mr. Smith? You must give a reason for your answer. Well, it seems obvious that if Mr. Smith wants 96 boxes, it's going to cost him over 41 quid. In fact, we can work out exactly how much that's going to cost him if he orders just 96. So let's write this down here. If he orders 96 boxes, it will cost... Now, if 95 boxes were £41, and he's just getting an extra box, it's going to be 40p more than that, I think, because we can see here he's still under the 100 boxes, so it's going to be his £41 plus he's going to have to pay an extra 40p. So it's going to cost him £41 and 40 pence. However, if he orders 100 boxes, he's laughing here, because 100 boxes, it's just going to be 15p a box. So I'm going to put, if he orders 100 boxes, it will cost, and it's just going to be, we did the working out here, 100 lots of 15, which is going to be 15 quid, plus his 3 quid delivery, it'll cost £18. So what's our advice? Advice, order 100 boxes to save money. There you go. And he'll be loving that, Mr. Smith. There you go. Saved him a few quid there. Now, this question then takes another turn here when we get to part C. So let me just dig this out here. Here we go. Part C. Use the graph paper below to show the costs of ordering up to 130 boxes from Box Clever. So we're going to the other one here. So let's get our information on Box Clever here. First 1 to 50 boxes is 30p each. Every extra box is 25p each, and a standard delivery charge of £2 per order. Now, you've got to think about this when you're plotting your graph. This is kind of going to be into two sections. You're going to have the 1 to 50 section where it's going to be 30p. Then your graph's going to look slightly different from beyond there. Every extra box is going to be an extra 25p on top of that. And your delivery charge of £2 per order. So just like when you're drawing straight line graphs, the best bet is to just build up some points that you know are going to be on this line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself a little table here. And I'm going to have number of boxes. And I'm going to have the cost. And let's get a few of these on the go. So number of boxes and cost. So if he orders 0 boxes, how much is it going to cost? Well, I mean, it's a bit of a kind of fictional amount this, but it's always good to start at 0. If he orders 0 boxes, he's still going to have to pay his £2 delivery order. So 0 boxes is going to cost him £2. Alright. Now let's go all the way up here to 50 boxes, because the first 50 boxes are 30p each. So say he orders 50 boxes, what's that going to cost him? Well, it's going to be, and let's just do our calculations up here, it's going to be 50 lots of 30p, so that's going to be 1,500 pence, otherwise known as 15 quid, and then he's going to have to pay a £2 delivery fee on top of that, so that's going to cost him 17 quid for 50 boxes. Now, we've got to go up to 130 boxes, so I guess our next one, just to get a point in there, would be to go up to 100 boxes. Let's just get that in there. So 100 boxes, how much is that going to set him back? So 100 lots of 30p. Oh, well, oh, no, Mr. Barton, you're talking absolute nonsense here, because his 50 boxes cost 17 quid, and then if he then wants 100 boxes, let's just have a little look here, every extra box costs him 25 quid, and if you just excuse me a sec, the flipping sun is coming in and blinding me here, so I'm blaming that for making that mistake. That's a bit better. Sorry about that. Right. Sorry, I wasn't concentrating then because I couldn't actually see my retinas were on fire. So anyway, let's have a look here. Back to it. So first 1 to 50 boxes, 30p each. Every extra box costs him 25p each. So imagine we want 100 boxes. His first 50 of those boxes are going to cost 15 quid. And then the next 50 boxes on top of that are going to be 25p per box. So 50 lots of 25. Now times in my 25 is all right to do. The good thing to do here would be to say 50 times by 25. That's kind of the same as 50 times by 100, but then divide your answer by 4. That might be one way to do it. So 50 times 100 is 5,000. But then we've got to divide our answer by 4, 5,000 divided by 4, and to divide something by 4, halve it to get 2,500, and halve it again to get 1,250. So that's going to be £12.50 for those extra 50 boxes. So the first 50 boxes are going to cost him 15 quid, and then the next 50 boxes are going to cost him £12.50. And then he's got his flipping delivery cost on top of that, so that's £27.50, and then he's going to have to pay his £2 delivery cost, so I think that's going to be £29.50. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a flipping hard question, this one. What about if he has 130 boxes? Well, those extra 30 boxes, he's going to have to pay 25p a box for those, so it's going to be 30 boxes, and he's going to have to pay 25p. a box for those. So let's do 3 lots of 25, I think will be 75, and we get a little extra 0 on there. So that's going to be an extra £7.50 that he's going to have to add on to that. So 130 boxes, we need to add £7.50 onto that. Well, I think 50p makes us up to 30 quid, and that's going to be £37 there. So we've got a few points that we can plot on this graph, and remember, the kind of change in this graph is going to be beyond 50 boxes, where it's going to the slope's going to be slightly different. So let's have a look at this. We need a scale. So the cost including delivery, the most we're going to go up to here is £37. So let's get a scale here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a little bit awkward. Let's go up maybe 10, go up in 4s maybe. That's going to get us up to the 40 quid that we need. So let's have a look. Let's go 4, 8, 10, 12, 14. Oh, I'm having an absolute nightmare. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. It's probably the worst maths question I've ever done in my life, this. Let's keep it going. 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Alright, there's my scale. Hopefully you can see that. Now on the bottom, number of boxes. So I've got to get up to 130. What have I got to work with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've got to get to 130. Well, I can get to 140 if I go up in 20. So let's go for that. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. That's not too bad. And let's get a little 0 in there. Right, let's get some things plotted. So if there's no boxes, it's going to cost him 2 quid. Alright, let's get that bit in there. No boxes, £2. Hopefully you can see that. Apologies, I'm going to need to keep scrolling kind of back and forward. Hopefully it doesn't make you too seasick here. 50 boxes is going to cost 17 quid, including his delivery charge. So 50 boxes, go up at the 50 until we get to £17. Well, that's 16 to 20, so that's going to be 18 there, so it's going to be halfway there. Okay, so that's 1 point on my graph. Then when we get to 100 boxes, it's going to be £29.50. So if I go up 100 boxes, and I go between 28, so that must be 30, so 29 will be halfway, so £29.50 will be halfway between that, so that looks quite good to me. And finally, we have, if there are 130 boxes, which was the most we were asked to do, we get £37, so we go up here, 130 boxes to £37, and we're there. Now we get our ruler, and I'm expecting a graph to be in a kind of couple of sections here. I don't expect a straight line through all my points because it's a different rate that I'm going to have to pay for different things. So that's my first section, 0 boxes to 50 boxes. And then when I've got there, my second section goes off, and you'll see it's at a slightly different angle. It's only subtly different, but it's at a slightly different angle there. So it's going to come through there. Now this is quite tricky because let's just double check we've got this right. For every extra box, it's going to be an extra 25p. So let's just work out, let's get our 51 boxes plotted on there. So 50 boxes were 17 quid, and 51 boxes, that will just pay an extra 25p for that box. So that's going to be £17.25. So I just want to plot that on there. So we've got 50 there, 51 there, and it's going to be £17.25p. So it's just going to move across slightly, and that's going to trigger off the kind of start of my new rate. So let's go there and there, join those up, and we get something that looks like it's got to go through those two down to something like that. Not my greatest thing I've ever drawn in my life there, I'll be honest with you. So let's have a look what's going on here with part D. Complete the table with recommendations. I tell you, I'll be glad to see the back of this question. 15 minutes I've been going on this. Complete the chart below to give recommendations for Mr. Smith. Fewer than 8 boxes. Right, let's figure out what's going on here. So if it's fewer than 8 boxes, what's the better company to buy from? Well, let's work this out. Let's say there were 7 boxes that he was buying here for this first one. From Boxes Galore, 7 boxes, it's going to cost him 40p per box, and it's going to be £3 delivery. So from Boxes Galore, and let's have Box Clever here. If he has 7 boxes, 40 box. Oh, my screen went off for a second then. 7 boxes, 40p per box is going to be £2.80, plus his delivery, that's going to be £5.80. And if he gets it from Box Clever, it's going to be 30p per box. So 7 lots of 30 are going to be £2.10 and £2 per order. So that's going to be £4.10. So his best bet there is to get it from Box Clever. Okay, between 50 and 40. So let's look if there was 50. If it was 50 boxes, now we worked that out. Fingers crossed. So for Box Clever, we worked that out before. 50 boxes was 17 quid. And if he gets it from Boxes Galore, where he's paying 40p per box, 50 lots of 40p. 50 lots of 40p. I think that's going to be 2,000. That's 20 quid. And he's paying his £3, so that's £23. So Box Clever wins again there. Looking good for Box Clever. But then if it's 110, if it's 110 boxes, so from Boxes Galore, we know that it only costs 15p a box. So we've got 15p. Times there. Now I think we're going to see here that this is going to be a lot cheaper, because we can see already that once you get over 100, Boxes Galore is looking quite good. But let's just double check that. Let's do 100 lots of 15. That's going to be 1,500, and then 15 lots of 15. 15 lots of 15. So we've got 15 lots of 10 is 150, and 5 is 25, so I think that's 175 there, fingers crossed. So that's going to be 1,675, so that's going to cost him £16.75, and then he's going to need to add on his £3, so I think that's £19.75p. And I'll tell you now that Box Clever is going to be a lot more expensive than this. We can see it is already, because it was 17 quid just to get 50, and so there's no way you're getting your next lot for that. So it's going to be much cheaper to get it from Boxes Galore. Now that was a flipping nightmare question, and I apologise for not explaining that well and for that sun issue, but hopefully that was vaguely useful. I promise I'll be better on the next one.